marijuana. Get a couple milli out the windows. Came for the whips and the chains, though. Let you niggas have the fame, though. Cause you a lame mo, no, we ain't the same, though. Get a couple milli out the window.
Oh, that's perfect. It's perfect. Little sneak peek. That's summer 2021, you already know.
Seeing projects on the way.
On the way.
You let them know the name?
That joint? That's called Dough.
Jeez.
We gonna run it back eventually, though. You're gonna hear that. I'll probably post that on my IG page. I've been thinking about doing some shit like that. Just a song clip every week. You know what I mean? So people can hear that shit. But yeah, we back. What is this? Episode 4?
4 in the books after this.
Great response so far. Shout out to everybody hitting us up.
For real.
The page is growing. The topics are becoming more intimate. More people are adding their opinions and their perspectives, so we appreciate everybody that's been reaching out. Shout out to BK for sliding through last week.
Yes, sir.
And how we getting it this week? Nesso in the building, X in the building.
Yes, sir.
You already know.
Just to go back to the people, I feel like, there's a lot of people still throwing in the DMs talking about, yo, you guys are...
Comment.
Yeah, you got
comment.
I rate it, you know what I mean? I appreciate the feedback because, listen, I'm trying to understand people in general. When I do this, I promise you, I've learned a lot just speaking on different things. And people try to challenge me, like, yo, weren't you the same person this? But you can understand when I'm speaking on camera, when I'm speaking in this light, I'm literally showing you the mind and the inside of things are going. You're not always gonna be the same person you were last week, 2 months ago, 6 months ago. So if you're holding me to that person, I'm cool with that. But just understand you're seeing a new person. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
You're seeing a new person.
And to add to that, you can always change your opinion upon new information. You know what I mean? The way you thought 10 years ago, definitely that shouldn't be the way that you think now. As you grow and as you learn, as your circles expand as well, you're going to gain different perspectives and your opinions on certain things are going to change. So again, don't hold somebody to the same standard that you would have held them 10 years ago. People grow, people evolve.
For real.
That's it.
For real. But back to it, I like the fact that people will get at me and be like, yo, just hey, this is a male's perspective, or that's just a guy's perspective. To that I say, I am a guy. I am a guy. So
what were you expecting? What type of perspective were you expecting?
I give the opinion of my own, and I make sure that I'm clear on what I say is my own opinion. It's not generic across the board. The male's perspective, it's my perspective. If it fits the the audience and the umbrella of all males, then it's unfortunate that that you see it that way. But again, I'm only giving my perspective. Ness gives his own perspective, and we're just trying to roll it out exactly. We're not trying to make it a male versus female thing, and
definitely not.
That's not what we're trying to do. And I promise you, I have one thing to say on my heart. Over the last 2 weeks, I've mean to say this, man. Shout out to all mothers, man. No, for real. We need you guys 100%, and I'm saying this for all male, the whole male audience. Shout out to all mothers, for real. I'm saying it for everybody. We appreciate you from the bottom of our heart. I know on times it feels like you guys don't get, you guys don't get the respect and the love that you guys need. But shout out to all you guys, man, for real. I got mad love for all the mothers holding it down, even when your partner may not be involved in your life. I can just say, shout out to you guys, man. You guys deserve the world.
I could piggyback 100% on that. You know what I mean? The sentiment is mutual. It should be mutual for every single male out there. We all came from a woman, so the utmost respect to y'all.
For real.
But how we rocking this week, man? You come with the questions, you come with the guidelines, and we knock these out the park.
Yo, honestly, I be just trying to jaw at people, just trying to see exactly where they're coming from. And someone says when growing up, how do you grow up with your significant other? How much do you tolerate? If your significant other's not growing with you as a person, as an individual, at what point do you be like, we need to sit down and organize our life together? We have this in place. we're moving on to the next chapter. We're now moving into like, you know, moving in together. You know, when we move in together, now we're gonna start our family. Now, when we start our family, then we're gonna you know, have a kid, or we're gonna get married. You know, we're gonna tie the knot. At one point where you're just with the person and you don't feel that they're growing at the same level with you, how do you respond to that, and how do you react to it?
Ah, man. At every level, that conversation should be had first. Like, I don't think you should be entering a situation or advancing a situation with somebody and not having that conversation, because those are big steps. Like you mentioned, moving in. You ultimately, you don't really know everything that comes with that until you actually do move in with somebody. But that conversation should be had initially, of the guidelines, and, you know, what role you play, what role she plays, what's the ultimate goal, what are you guys trying to achieve together. You know, we've kind of touched on this a little bit before, but you know, to go more in depth with it, you really need to gain a perspective on your partner and just goals in general. Like, I'm gonna keep it real simple. You gotta be able to mesh with their goals, and they have to be able to mesh with yours. So, like, that conversation needs to happen ASAP. If you guys have that conversation and you guys are together and shit isn't going the way it should be, at that point you have to make a decision. Do we sit down and thug it out and work this out, or do we keep it pushing? Are we compatible as people? If the answer is no, then, you know, go your separate ways, keep it pushing. If you guys do see relevance in what you're doing, then, you know what I mean, sit down and have that conversation. I had come across a video the other day on Instagram, and it was an older couple. I think they were married for probably like at least 40-50 years, and the woman spoke, and she was speaking directly towards women, because she was saying was that the women of this generation, they don't see love for what it really is. They think it's like butterflies in your stomach and stuff like that. And she was also saying that, like, that's how everything is geared towards women. That's how they kind of manipulate you, you know what I mean? They make you feel like that's what love should be. And she was explaining, like, you know, love is the little things. Love is you, your partner knowing that you're forgetful, and they put their key, or they put your key by your bag before you leave, because they know that you often forget that. And it really made me think, because, you know, at times we all forget the little things, you know what I mean? And obviously those are the important things, especially in a relationship. For somebody to be in a relationship and be married for that extended period of time, and be able to identify that as what love really comes down to, I think that spoke volumes to me. And I think that, you know, us as people, we got to look more into that and really just, you know, level it out. Stop thinking that love is this immense feeling, and it's the little things. It's the little things that you do for somebody, man. And it just compounds and it builds and it grows. You know what I mean?
I'm laughing now because, like, it's funny that you say that, because, like, you know, I don't know if I read it or seen it. I guess I seen it in real life. It happened to one of my friends, but he started dating a girl. And you know, when that first stage of when you start dating someone, you just want to be around them, you want to hang out with them.
100%.
He was doing his absolute 1000% best to be the best guy ever, like doing all the smallest little things in the world. And then as time went by, he stopped doing the little thing. He stopped doing them little things. And then his girlfriend took it as, you're not the same guy you used to be. But really, what the thing is like, you put on this facade at the beginning, and you put yourself to a tower and a pinnacle where it's like, it's too far to come back. You can't do it on a regular basis. So it's like, you literally built up this whole, you know, character that you're gonna do all these little things, and then as time went by, you stopped doing them for whatever reason, and now your partner's looking at you like you're not the guy I first met. Well, it's like, he was just trying his level best to do everything possible. So when you're saying do those little things, absolutely, you should do it. But that should just come as, you're just your nature and yourself. I don't think you have to force yourself to do it, because if you force yourself, now you're being, pinned against yourself. You're getting pinned against yourself. So it's like, it's funny that you said that. That's why I was laughing, because I was just like, I seen this happen. I seen this story happen where someone just tried to be their,
Yeah.
their Super Saiyan self of their own self.
You got to be realistic at the end of the day with it too. You know what I mean? I think like in the beginning of relationships, everybody puts on that facade. Everybody wants to be on their best behavior. Everybody wants to prove that, I'm the one for you.
Right.
And we all do that. We all raise our own expectations. And sometimes those things, you can't maintain those things for a long duration. Over the period of time, like 2-3 years, 4, 5, 6 years, those, you can't maintain that. It does have to be natural. And it has to flow off of your partner as well. Like, you guys both got to be doing the little things for each other. But, that's an element to relationships. I always think it's best to show just show who you are in the beginning. You know what I mean? Show who you are in the beginning. I get that everybody wants to be perfect, but the fact of the matter is nobody's perfect. Nobody will ever be perfect. So just show who you are, and that way your partner becomes comfortable with that. If they're with it, they're with it. If they're not, they're not. At least you can look yourself in the mirror and say, you know what I mean? This is who I am. This is how I move. And off of that, you can attract what you feel will complement you best. So
yeah, no, for real,
it is, dog.
I'm gonna echo that, just because, like, I feel like if you come into a situation, if you come into a workplace, if you come into a job, if you come into a relationship, if you just come as yourself, as your own individual, I mean, if you turn out to be someone else in the end, then at least you've grown as a person, rather than you've come from up here and that you're decreased down here. You came in as yourself, and then she started to work with you, and you now became, you became something excellent. You became something that's, anyway, the whole point of me saying this today is like, don't set yourself up for failure trying to be someone, you're not. As cliche as that sounds, you know what I'm saying? Just keep it real, just keep it, 100. If you're that person, be that person, you know what I'm saying? Let her experience you and love you for, for who you are out the gate.
100. Well, like I'm gonna just cut in there. Like X said at the beginning, we're not trying to make this a man versus woman thing. That's not what this is.
Stop. Say it one more time.
We are not trying to make this a man versus woman thing.
My bad. Say it a third time, please.
We are not trying to make this a man versus woman thing. But my next question may come off as such. So in a relationship, or not even in a relationship, in the beginning stages, who do you think does that more, the man or the woman? Puts on that front, like they have to prove to their partner the most. Who would you think?
Now you got me thinking. I'm just like,
that was a curveball. I lied.
Yo, now
that was a curveball.
Now I'm thinking like, who puts on that? I think the guys do still.
You think it's the guys? Well, all right. Well,
yeah.
I'm gonna give you a second to process that, because that question came out of nowhere. So
yeah,
I'm gonna give you a couple seconds. All right. So why would you say the guys? That's interesting. That's interesting out the gate.
Cause I just feel like
that's really interesting.
It's different, because now when I'm processing in my head, I'm thinking of different areas of where a person would change. So it's like, out the gate, the guy trying to be the better person in the relationship out the gate. I feel like, guys, some of us, we try to put on this, this super shit in the beginning. You know what I mean? For girls, yeah, man, I'm gonna stay with my answer. I'm gonna be careful how I answer this.
You can go with the guys. So I gotta be that. I gotta be that guy then.
Yeah. I'm gonna let them get at your comments. I'm gonna let them get at your DMs, bro.
Yeah. I didn't really give too much thought about it. This was on the fly, but just initially, I gotta go with the women. I really gotta go with the women, and I'm gonna give you the psychology behind it. I think the fact that women are just able to, I think you guys are just able to disguise sometimes your true intentions better than a man can. I think if a man's bullshitting you right out the gate, you guys, ladies, can pick that shit up. You can pick it up right away. You can pick up his flaws. You can pick up his insecurities. You can pick up his ego. You can pick up all of that. I think as a man and being in these type of environments and situations, I feel like it's a lot harder for a man to pick up on a woman's bullshit. You guys are just a lot better at hiding it. And a huge reason for that, I think, is just the fact that you guys can change your appearance a lot more easily. And with those appearance changes, I feel comes attitude changes. And yo, I'm gonna leave it right there at that. You know what I mean? I feel like I don't want to dig myself in too deep of a hole. We can touch on this topic again when I just have my thoughts a little bit put together better. But I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna rock with the girls. I think that it's just easier for them to hide their true intentions in the beginning. That's it, man.
So we're gonna leave it up to the people.
Yeah.
We're gonna go people aside, because like the original question was, you know, in the beginning, who's more likely to put up that
front,
that character in the beginning.
Yeah.
Now I said the guys just because I seen some shit in my life, you know.
Speak on that. You don't gotta say no names. Like, what do you mean particularly?
Like, you know, for example, right?
Mm.
You know, one thing, you know, guys, you know, homies, we like to hang out with each other, you know what I'm saying? We like to kick it on a Friday, you know what I mean? We watch ball together, we watch football, whatever the case may be. So, you know, growing up, we always together, you know what I'm saying? We're always kicking it after school, weekends, we're always together, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Girls, I feel like they're hanging out with their girlfriends are not like the guys, you know what I'm saying? They don't hang out as much. So it's like, for example, right? If a guy always hangs out with his homies, you know what I'm saying? And as soon as the girl comes around, he's like, you know what? I gotta hang with my girl now.
Okay. You talking about it from that perspective?
That's just one example.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now he has to hang out with his girl now, where he's always with his girl.
Yeah.
But times where he gets fed up with his girl now, you know what I mean? Or not fed up with her, but maybe he just wants to hang with the homies sometimes, and now he's spending more time with his friends on the weekends or whatever the case may be, or after work. Now it's like, oh yeah, he's changing, he's different, he's this, and this. And I'm just like, yeah, he used to be with us all the time anyway. You know what I'm saying? So small things like that, you know what I mean? That's just one angle of taking it, but you know what I mean? If you ever been in a relationship, you know how it goes. Someone's got at you before and said like, yo, why you always out? Why you always over here? You've had that question before, so.
All right, so yo, I can flip that on you. In the beginning, I've been in situations where a girl is 100% cool with that. She welcomes that.
Yeah.
And as time goes on, it's not as it was before. Now it's becoming an issue. And she feels like, you know, why are you always with them? So to me, was that always how you felt? Did you always feel like that even in the beginning, and you just put on that front just to make me happy? Or is it just us growing closer together and you not wanting that element around anymore?
Again, there's always you know,
variations.
A limit. Yeah, there's a limit to, you know, what you can take. Obviously in the beginning, you're not gonna be like, yo, you can't do this, you can't do that. You're not gonna be, yo. So it's obviously you're gonna try to, you know, be a little bit more lenient in your. Anyway, I shouldn't be answering for the females, you know, the shorties, but I'm just saying, you know, for me, an example in the beginning, I'm not gonna be like, yo, you're not. You know, I'm not be that guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna allow some things to, you know, get by, but ultimately I'm still gonna, you know, at one point I'm gonna be like, hey, you know, maybe we have to scale back a little bit. But again, for the girls, like, same thing. Like, you know, maybe she said, like, you know, in the beginning she just wanted to be friendly and open and, you know, allow you to have some time, you know, with your friends and not be like, yo, you know, we have to be together every Friday or Saturday. We have to have movie night this night. We have to have bowling night this night. You know, on Tuesdays is taco night. You know what I mean? Maybe she didn't want to be that person up front.
Honey, what's up, babes? We doing a podcast, babes. I'll be up in a minute. Hold on.
Intermission.
Nah, we be right back.
Tell you what, I'm gonna get this nigga to bite on something. Pardon my language. I'm gonna get him to bite on something where he jumps out the window and he says something crazy just for the sake of it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna get him to, you know, bite on something.
We got a guest, y'all.
Yes, sir.
We got a guest. We got a little guest in the building. What's wrong, babes? You wanna say hi? Say hi, X.
High five.
They come upstairs.
Okay, Daddy be up in a little bit, alright? We just finishing up here. Okay? My bad, y'all. We gonna take a quick intermission. We back. Yeah, what were you saying, Matt? Look, you should wanna engage in those type of activities with your partner, and just show respect and love to your partner. You should want to do that every day of the week, not just on holidays. Yeah,
Nah, it's crazy because, like, yeah, man, when I just look at these holidays, everyone wants to do the most on those significant days, or, those days that are just put out in the media and publicized, when it's just like, yeah, sometimes you don't have to go all out on those days, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, she wants to be treated nicely on that day, and you should, but I feel like, yeah, there should be more times that, your husband or your wife, there should be more days where we get together where it feels like it's a year long. It's not just 4 days of the year where you're celebrated. It's it's consistent throughout the whole year.
100%.
So just my thing for saying is, like, don't feel pressured into that big day that's coming up. Oh, Valentine's Day's coming up in 2 weeks. I gotta go get her XYZ. I gotta go spend $3,000 on this day, when it's like, bro, you know what I mean? There's 365 days of the year, and you're choosing what? You're choosing 3 days to go crazy. You know what I'm saying? Just keep that shit rocking, like, Hopefully she doesn't feel where she needs the biggest thing on that day, because she understands, you know what I mean, that you love her, 365 days of the year, not just that one day she feels special. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I know some people be like, why are you saying this? And listen, we trying to talk about the bigger things in life. We trying to get in depth in those conversations that people don't like to have. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to shed light on those type of conversations. So it's like, if you can't do that, it may be easier said than done. But if you can't do that, then man, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. We got to get into some sticky situations, man.
Let's get it.
Some sticky situations, because unfortunately, things happen that are not in your foresight. You know what I mean? But they do happen. I called my dog today, just talking to him. I'm like, hey, man, you're back here? You're back, back in the ends? And he's like, yeah, I'm back in the ends. I'm like, oh, shoot. You know what I mean? But I knew he moved away for a little bit to go, with his partner, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And, relationship got rocky. And then he told me what happened. And then he eventually just kind of moved back home for a little bit, just to kind of get back on his feet. And then he'll do his thing after. But, what is your take on, when things get sticky, legal purposes, you know what I'm saying? If, say, you have a child, you know what I mean? What's your take on people putting their...
My bad, continue.
Yeah, what's your take on that whole aspect where, some people like to put their child in the middle of their personal relationship, and...
Never, man. It should never happen.
How do you avoid stuff like that? How do you avoid, situation getting bad to that level?
I don't know, I don't know the details of his situation. What was it like? Can you say anything else without exposing dude, just so I can give like a clearer answer?
It was a bit of a heated conversation. Police got involved.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So it became one of those ones where now, authorities are involved, and
this goes back to our podcast last week, and really just managing your emotions. You gotta understand, especially as a man, you gotta understand when to walk away from certain shit. We've all been there, not in that particular situation, but we've all been in situations where our tempers flare, and we react off of that. And you just gotta know better. You know what I mean? You truly have to know better, because at the end of the day, nobody wins in that. The girl don't win, you don't win, the kid don't win. It's a lose-lose for everybody. So, man, I don't know. We come from such an era right now where toxic relationships are kind of like they're kind of like the norm, and it's sad to say these physical altercations happen, whether it be the man initiated or the women initiated. It's just so it's rampant right now, and I don't have an answer on how to stop it. You know what I mean? Other than men need to learn to manage their emotions better, women, y'all need to learn to manage your emotions better as well. And we got to communicate better. You know what I'm saying? If a situation isn't working, a relationship isn't working, and it truly isn't working, walk away from it. Have that conversation. This is the direction we need to go. And the most important thing is obviously the kid, because you don't want a kid growing up around that, normalizing that, thinking that if the kid if it's a girl, you don't want her thinking that it's okay for men to be putting their hands on her throughout her life. And if it's a man or if it's a boy, you don't want him to be thinking it's okay to do that to women. You feel what I'm saying? And vice versa. I'm not just, abusive relationships happen both ways. It's not just men abusing women. Women do that shit to men too. So, we got to mature as people first and foremost. We got to learn to manage our emotions. And we got to look out for the most important thing in that situation, which is the kids.
I think ultimately, you know what I'm saying? You should always do what's best. If you guys are gonna separate, you should obviously do what's best for the child. You know what I'm saying? If you guys are toxic in front of that child, you guys understand that your child is sitting there looking at you.
Watching it, man.
And if he's not sitting there looking at you, he's behind the door listening to you. You know what I'm saying? So if you feel like you guys are at the level where you guys can never speak eye to eye, you know what I mean? You guys need to find an understanding or reach an understanding where it's like, yo, maybe this is, not working out. Maybe this could lead to further occurrences where, it gets worse. You know what I'm saying? And, man.
Keep them courts out your business, man.
Yeah.
Courts should not be involved in you raising your kids.
And now, like, when you get the courts involved, you get the police involved.
Man.
And now with the kids obviously seeing everything that's happening. As much as you try to keep it away, they're seeing everything that's happening. And I would hope that everybody wants a 2-parent household. Just the foundation and the structure would be a little bit stronger.
Honey.
But when I see some of these relationships and they just go sour, I'm literally trying to understand a little bit more, not to get in your business, but I'm really trying to understand, what took you guys to that level, so I don't have to live through it. You know what I'm saying? Because that may sound selfish, but you know what I mean. I'm learning as I go. You know what I'm saying? Every opportunity that comes your way, you can learn from it.
Honey.
And this is a reality. We get in relationships with people. You know what I mean? We grow out of love. From other individuals. You could be with this person and love them for 6 years. You could fall out of love with that person. So that stuff happens, but. It's unfortunate that, courts get involved, the legal gets involved, child support has to, you know what I mean? That stuff is just like, damn, man. When I see stories like that, I'm just like, I promise you, it hurts a piece of my heart just to see that you have to go through this. You are literally being dragged. You can't see your son. You can't see your daughter. You know what I mean? On one side, they're saying that, the mother is not allowing them to see their child. But then in my head, I'm just like, yo, what did you do to get her to a point where she feels like you're no longer safe with my child? You know what I mean? The child that she carried for 9 months. So it's like, I think about these things, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm not just it's a person with legs just walking around,
Honey.
You know what I mean? I have a brain. I think about things, you know what I'm saying? So
put them kids first, man. Put your mental health first. I don't know, dude. I don't know who you're talking about, but I think, especially at this point, anybody going through this type of situation, put your mental health first. Sit your ass down. Figure out, what you need to do, where you went wrong. Hold yourself accountable for your actions first and foremost. It's always easy as a man to say, well, my girl did this or she did this and she pushed me to this point or she made me. But no, my G, it's you. Nobody can control the things that you do but you. So hold yourself accountable first and foremost. Women too. Women in those situations, you gotta hold yourself accountable as well. You know what I'm saying? We all have ample opportunity to exit certain situations. If you don't take it, then you can't always just fault him and say, it's him, he's doing this, he's possessive, he's this, or whatever the situation. I don't want to go into too much details, but the gist of what I'm saying is just hold yourself accountable first and foremost as a person, as a human being, as a parent, as a partner, in any and every situation. Self accountability, it'll make a lot of things clear. But what we doing? We think we should wrap this up? We got anything else?
I think that's episode 4, man.
That's episode 4.
We just keep rolling them out. We keep pumping them out. You know, as time goes by, we keep listening to the people. People keep DMing us with more information. I'm just like, you know, I watched your stuff. You know what I mean? You guys make me laugh. You know, some of you guys been hitting me like, you know, you guys been speaking the real. Listen, I'm only giving you the point of view from myself, and I keep saying like this so you guys understand, like, you know what I mean, we've all been through those, you know, trying times, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But only the strong survive, bro. The grass is not always green, you know what I'm saying? The whole course can't be a green, you know? It can't be just butterflies and sunshine, you know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
You know, rain will fall on you, so, you know, it's how to fight through those adversities, man. That's the same thing in life, you know? You apply that to every rule in life, you know what I mean? There's always gonna be down periods, you know what I mean? There's always gonna be a point in times where things are not going your way, you know what I mean? Your brain's gonna get filled with anger and, you know, a whole bunch of, you know, actions and thoughts that are just not, you know, where they need to be. You just need to, you know, keep pushing, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? For anyone who has better strategies or had strategies or had encounters with some of the situations that, you know, were posed in any 4 of these episodes, you know what I mean? I'm encouraging you just to drop that, you know? Drop that in the comments, you know? Check your ego, episode 4, you know what I'm saying? In the books.
Take care of them kids, man. Take care of them kids. Look
first.
Look after yourself. Look after your mental health.